Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video here today on the channel. And today's video, I'm going to be ranking every single boss in Pac-Man World Re-PAC from worst to best. This is how I'm going to be ranking these bosses by their phases and how challenging these bosses are to defeat. Now, I do want to say this. I think Re-PAC does not have a single bad boss. Just because the boss is at number 6, that doesn't mean I hate it or that it's garbage. It's just that I think they're kind of weaker than the other ones. And lastly, I just want to say that this list is my very own opinion. So you might agree or disagree, doesn't matter. This is not the perfect list in the world. It's just an opinion. With all that said, let's get ranking. At number 6, I have the Clown Racers. The Clown Racers is actually not the worst boss. I just think that the Clown Racers is one of the weaker bosses compared to the other ones. I will say this again. I don't think I find this boss to actually be a boss. To me, it's more like a mini game. It's a fun mini game. It has a first-person view, a beautiful clown theme aesthetic, but the only problem with this boss is the clowns. The clowns don't do nothing to stop you from entering first place. They just let you go in front of them for some reason. And for some reason, these clowns are stupid enough that they would just hit themselves with their own bombs. Other than that, the Clown Racers is not actually the worst boss. To me, they're just kind of easy compared to the other ones. So the Clown Racers comes in at number 6. At number 5, I have Windbag. Windbag and Re-PAC I honestly love more than the original. Yeah, I know this boss is not one of the challenging ones neither, but I feel like what makes it a challenge is you have to time your butt bounce in order to hit the boss back. He has a second phase, which I did not expect from him. This second phase right here, what makes him above the Clown Racers. He actually adds a new move attack, which is his zooming lightning speed from left to right, which either way he's going from. And I also like that they give you 5 targets, but you can only choose 2 targets at a time or whenever one is available for you to use. All that said, Windbag is honestly a good boss fight, but he's still one of the weaker ones compared to the other ones. So with all that said, Windbag comes in at number 5. Alright, with those 2 bosses I mentioned earlier, those were kind of the easy ones or more simple ones. So now we're in the middle with these 2 bosses. They're kind of simple to defeat, but not at the same time. They're just right in the middle. This pains me to put this boss at number 4, knowing that he was one of the hardest bosses from the original. At number 4 is King Galaxian. Don't get me wrong, he's still quite a challenging boss to defeat. But I feel like what kills this boss, it's the goddamn tail. Tail simply just ruined the entire boss from the original, because shoot him multiple times and then you could destroy one of King Galaxian's engines again. Even when you get up to this phase, he's still not that challenging as he was in the original. Don't get me wrong, this boss could still be difficult, especially when you hit him for the first 2 times. He just throws in a lot of aliens that you can shoot you down with. Other than that, King Galaxian, still one of my personal favorite bosses in Re-PAC, but he comes in at number 4. And as soon as you start the fight, he's immediately going to try to grab you with his ginormous robotic hands. At number 3, I have Chrome Keeper. When you start the fight off, I know it's not too difficult, but when you get to his first phase where he just adds rockets, this is when the difficulty kind of picks up a bit. Because these conveyor belts are going to pull out one of these steam machines. While you're dodging these steam machines, you also have to dodge his incoming missiles that he's going to throw at you. To damage this boss, you have to be Metal Pac-Man, but you also have to watch out for these magnets because they're going to pull you up, basically taking your time off so that you don't have a chance or the time to hurt the boss. Now this is where the boss actually picks up a difficulty because he's going to attach himself with some lasers that will just destroy everything that's in the conveyor belt besides the steam machines. While you are waiting for this metal crate to appear to become Metal Pac-Man and hurt the boss again, you have to dodge all the shenanigans that's coming out of the goddamn conveyor belt, and also Chrome Keeper's missiles, lasers, and his Robo Stomp when he stomps the ground and makes the parts come out of the ceiling or fall from the ceiling. With all that said, Chrome Keeper is honestly a really good boss fight in Re-PAC, and he's honestly one of my favorites as well. Chrome Keeper comes in at number 3. Now it is time for these two next bosses, which in my opinion that are the best bosses in Pac-Man World Re-PAC. Number 2 has to be Anubis Rex. Anubis Rex is the second best boss in Pac-Man World Re-PAC. To hurt the boss, you have to rev-roll these 4 panels, which is 4 times, in order to hurt the boss. Each time you hurt the boss, he's going to make the platforms collapse, so the boss can be more difficult and you can no longer go into a straight line. The most challenging part about this boss fight is the more you hurt it, the more obstacles he's going to throw at you, and they ain't going to be easy to dodge them. The third phase picks up a difficulty where he just throws this annoying tornado at you, which you have to jump over, and he's going to also toss these 2 fireballs at you whichever direction you're at. This last and final phase is obviously the most difficult part of it all. Not only you have to dodge all of its previous attack, but you also have to time yourself basically to move out of the way when the laser comes in, because the laser has a huge splash damage that can just reach you. And not to mention, these mummies are so annoying, especially when they spawn right next to you, giving you enough space to damage these enemies. Anubis Rex was honestly one of my favorites from the original, and now I love this boss even more in the Re-PAC version. Anubis Rex comes in at number 2 as the best boss fight in Pac-Man World Re-PAC. Coming in at number 1 as the best boss fight of all time in Pac-Man World Re-PAC, it hands down has to be Talkman. You can't even compare the other bosses to Talkman. Talkman is easily the best boss in Pac-Man World Re-PAC, and I'm glad that Talkman is one of the most difficult bosses in this game. He is the final boss after all, and I love that they gave him new ways to attack you than the original. He has his Gatling gun and his jetpack to damage the player, and I think his fight is unique out of all the bosses that I mentioned, because you could attack him by butt bouncing him or rev rolling him or throwing your pack dots at him. Either way, all of them will hurt the boss. Oh what, you thought the final boss fight was gonna be that easy? Nah, in this next phase you have to fight metal with metal. I love that his next phase is a throwback to the original where you have to dodge its shockwave. Before Talkman even fights you again, he's gonna throw a lot of cannonballs at you, which one of them will shoot out a metal power-up. Once you dodge all of his cannonballs, you can now fight him again with metal. You can just go ham on this boss. And now we have reached his last and final phase. Now with this one, it's honestly really difficult if you're going for a butt bounce or rev roll. I throw my pack darts because it has the range to reach. Once you damage his same foot 3 times, you're now able to defeat PAC-Man or damage him on top of his head. And of course, how can I forget his most dangerous attack move, and that has to be the rev roll. And he's also one of the only bosses in this game that has a shitload of health. Even if you rescue all the PAC family, you still find yourself struggling with this boss. PAC-Man easily takes the #1 spot as the best boss of all time in PAC-Man World Re-PAC. And that is my ranking list of all the bosses in PAC-Man World Re-PAC from worst to best. And I gotta say, I appreciate that these bosses in this game are not your typical bosses. What I mean by that is like Mario Brothers, like 3 hits on the head and they're dead already, just like that. And I appreciate that this game did not win easy, that these bosses actually do take some time and I guess a while to defeat, with unique ways to defeat the boss other than hitting it on the top of his head 3 times. With all that said, I'm gonna wrap today's video up. I hope you people did enjoy this. This was quite a fun, not gonna lie. I'm gonna end it right here because this is a long one. I'll catch you on the next one.